Good evening. This is Steve Kahn, and I would like to call the regular meeting of the Planning Commission to order. Always wanted to use that. Deputy City Clerk Megan Wilbanks, will you please call the roll?
Commissioner Francis? Present. Commissioner Hopkins? Commissioner Jorgensen?
Here.
Commissioner Munoz Morris?
Here.
Vice Chair Khan?
Here. At this time, we will hear any public comments on items not on tonight's agenda. Items raised are generally referred to staff, and if action by the commission is necessary, may be scheduled for a future meeting. Deputy City Clerk, do we have any public comment?
At this time, Chair, I haven't received any requests for public comment for items that aren't on the agenda. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak, please let me know. Okay.
All right, thank
Seeing
you.
none.
For the consent calendar, we're going to consider the minutes of August the 10th, 2022, Planning Commission minutes. Does anybody have any comments on the minutes before us? All right, seeing no comments, I don't have any comments either. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Actually, it'd be approval of the minutes, but we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? None, thank you. We'll now enter the public hearing part of our agenda. Any court challenges to the action taken on the public hearing items on this agenda may be limited to considering only those issues raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the City of San Luis Obispo at or prior to the public hearing. If you wish to speak, please give your name and your address for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Are there any requests to speak?
Not for this item.
Thank you. So for the first item 4A is 2223 Monterey Street, review of a revised project design for the Motel Inn, an 83-unit hotel with 29 bungalows, guest room buildings, 4 small outbuildings, a pool area, and associated site improvements. Staff is recommending to consider the revised project designed at Motel Inn at 2223 Monterey Street to be continued to a date uncertain. This will allow additional time for staff and the applicant to review and address certain items related to the information and analysis set out in the initial study in the mitigated negative declaration and addendum for the project. Would Assistant Planner Walter Ozel please make any comments regarding this recommendation?
Good evening, Vice Chair Khan and members of the Commission. Walter is not here this evening. I'll just stand in for him, and there's really nothing to add. It just gives time for staff to address some additional comments. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. So, Deputy City Clerk, do you have any public comments on this item?
I haven't received any requests to speak.
Okay, we don't see anybody in the audience that wants to speak. So do I have a consensus among conditioners to continue this to a date uncertain?
Don't we have to make a formal motion? Right?
Yes, you need to make a formal motion to
Okay.
continue, I think.
Which
Vice
I'll be
Chair
happy to
Khan.
make. To
Okay, that's
continue.
fine. So we have a motion on the table to continue to a date uncertain. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Very good. Deputy City Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Munoz Morris?
Yes.
Commissioner Hopkins?
Yes.
Commissioner Francis?
Yes.
Commissioner Jorgensen?
Yes.
and Vice Chair Khan.
Yes,
And that motion passes.
thank you. So at this time, we're going to go to item 4B, 950 High Street and 1940 Santa Barbara. Establish of a safe parking program at the Railroad Square to provide those experiencing homelessness with vehicles a safe place to temporarily park their vehicles overnight to facilitate their transition to permanent housing. Staff is recommending that consideration for the use permit for the safe parking program at the Railroad Square be continued to a date uncertain. This would allow the applicant time to address concerns that were raised by members of the community during a recent neighborhood meeting. Would Housing Coordinator Kyle Bell please make any comments regarding the revised recommendation?
Yes, Kyle Bell, Housing Coordinator for the Community Development Department. Thank you for the overview. It's exactly as you had read from the card. We are recommending to continue the item to allow more time to address the comments we received from the public. We had a really helpful meeting with the neighborhood groups, and we're looking forward to working with them to improve upon the program before coming back to you in the future. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So for public comment, this item was noticed in the papers and on postcards sent to the surrounding property owners. So certainly if anybody's here to make comments, the commission will accept public comment. Deputy Clerk, do we have any public comment on this item?
Yes, Chair, I have one so far from Steve Raris. And if anybody else would like to speak on this item, feel free to complete one of the speaker cards and turn it in to me.
Mr. Eric?
So, I'm sorry, the pronunciation is Rarig. It's tough, yeah. So, good to see you, Steve. Been a while. Anyway, I'm Steve Rarig. We own the property at 1998 Santa Barbara Street. It's a two-story office building, kind of looks like an old railroad station. So our property is adjacent to this, and I'm not really going to get into the details of all the issues because that's going to come up at a later hearing, which you've moved on. But anyway, I do want to thank Kyle, Kelsey, where's Kyle? Kyle, Kelsey, and Therese for meeting with us. We had a group of, 8 people from the neighborhood, businesses, Miners Hardware, Rarig, our 5 tenants, TMHA, who is working with homeless right now. And they're all our tenants. So it's a big concern. I know it's a big issue. We all want to try to resolve this homeless issue, but our immediate concerns, because I don't really want to get into the details, I think those are going to come up later, right now are safety. I'm glad the staff has continued this item because there are some major health and safety issues related to what's happening with the temporary safe housing program out there. My immediate concern is safety, not only for the employees that work or the people that work in our office building at 1998 Santa Barbara Street, but at Miners Hardware and all the other businesses in the area. I, for myself, witnessed some pretty aggressive behavior from some of these folks Friday morning, and then again Saturday afternoon, Monday morning, and then again just this morning my son witnessed some. I know the city has some video cameras there that apparently are monitored, but not regularly. I think it's in case there's an issue, the police department can look at those monitors and see what's going on. I would like to be sure that those monitors are watching over the common property line between our facility and the cities. I don't know if they do, but for an example, my son went there this morning just to check on the electrical room in our building because we're going to do some improvements in there. You'll probably see those in the future. And he parked in our private parking stall on our adjacent property to yours. There's a common property. I think I sent you all this information. You've probably seen it on the deed and common parking, common easements. But anyway, he was there on our property, on our side, and somebody came. I don't know if he's in your program or he's somebody else parking there, but he immediately became very belligerent to my son, aggressive, and I mean, it was bad. And you've probably seen some of these yourself. It's not fun to be in there. But what I don't want to do is have some violent action occur as a result of this. So I'm thinking that maybe a video camera or more video cameras, better surveillance, some emergency contact numbers. I believe I sent to Teresa and your group some emergency contact information that we should be posted out there so people can immediately call the police or whoever we need to call. My son is, he's younger, he's taken over my part of the business. He's gonna own the business sometime, that building, and I'm concerned about his safety. So, that's all I'm asking. I don't wanna find out someday that somebody came up to him and whatever they did, hurt him or whatever. But my main concern right now is safety, and that's immediate. So thank you for hearing me. I know it's a tough issue. We all want to help the homeless. I've got a tenant in the building, TMHA, that works with homeless and tries to get them resettled, but this issue on this property, it's a big one. So thanks for your time.
Thank you. I think we have another public comment.
Stephen Jarrett?
Thank you for your time this evening. My name is Steve Jarrett. I'm actually not a resident of San Luis Obispo. I was born in California. I spent my career on the East Coast in Washington, D.C., an ex-federal employee. I'm in town now because I'm actually looking potentially to buy and move into San Luis Obispo. And I am currently homeless. I live out of a custom-designed truck. And one of the things that I found when I moved into town was this safe parking spot. I would like to mention two things. The first is that I applaud the city for creating a safe space. I have spent approximately 10 nights in that area because I wanted to see what the city is like and the homeless population in the city. I have never felt personally threatened or seen any actions that would cause me concern or cause me fear, but I absolutely understand the previous gentleman's concern for safety, and I would applaud any additional efforts that the city can make on the local neighbors' behalfs, just to make sure that folks, that the transient population there understands that they have responsibilities as well. So with that in mind, if there are any questions outside, I think the gentleman left already. But those are the comments that I wanted to say. One was thank you to the city for providing that. I have seen a number of folks that are there that appreciate the safety. There were probably 7 to 10 single women that I know very much appreciate having that space available. And the safety issue is real, as well as some of the health issues that he's discussed. And so addressing those, I believe, would be important. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other further comments? I think you have to.
I haven't issued the yellow page simply because it's been continued. And in lieu of being continued, by the way, my name is Jim Trask. I'm a life member of the museum. And I would like to invite all of you, if you haven't done so, to visit the museum and see what it's all about. I think that would help you understand the situation. And just interesting, how many of you have visited the museum? Okay, that's great. It's open Saturdays right now, 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And there is construction going on inside of the model railroad. And so I think that's the least you could do is find out what it's all about at the museum. And look forward to having another opportunity to address the issue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments?
I haven't received any other speaker slips. They are optional. It just helps me to get your information correct for the record. So if somebody else did want to speak, you're welcome to approach the podium or fill one of these out.
Seeing none, does staff have any comments? Or not staff, excuse me. Commission? All right, with that, I would like to have a motion and a second to continue this item to a date uncertain. Do I have a motion?
There we go. Second time's a charm. I'll make a motion to continue this item.
I'll second.
Thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Deputy City Clerk, would you have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Hopkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Jorgensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Francis,
Yes.
Commissioner Munoz Morris,
Yes.
Vice Chair Khan,
Yes.
and that motion passes.
At this time, we move to the end of our agenda, and we get staff updates and agenda forecast. Would Housing Policy and Program Manager Teresa McClish please provide the update?
Thank you, Commissioners. So next meeting on September 28th will be canceled. We have nothing yet scheduled for the October 12th scheduled Planning Commission meeting. And so stay tuned for that. That may be canceled. And then that brings us to the end of October. The October 26th meeting is tentatively scheduled for a study session item on the update to the general plan safety element. We're titling it the Climate Adaptation and Safety Element Update. And so we are proposing to bring that to you in study session form at the end of October on October 26th. And you'll also tentatively scheduled as a information presentation on a newly submitted project called The Link, which is on the property previously owned by Chevron. And so we'll have some information on that submitted project. And then that brings us to the November 16th Planning Commission hearing. And that meeting is tentatively scheduled to have the project at 1422 Monterey Street heard. And that's a project that includes development review for a 5-story mixed-use project consisting of 4,366 square feet of commercial space and 106 residential units dedicated for affordable housing. It is inclusive also of a 3-story parking garage, and that's scheduled again tentatively for your November 16th Planning Commission meeting. And then that brings us to the Planning Commission meeting to round out the end of the year of December 14th, and that is when we have tentatively scheduled the safety element update for your consideration. So you get a little break, and then we get busier as we get to late fall. And the only other update I have for you is just informational, a study session next week at our city council for our homelessness response strategic plan. Again, a study session item for that at council next week. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you. I appreciate the update. It's very helpful. Would Deputy City Clerk Megan Wilbanks please provide a recruitment update for our 2 vacancies in the Planning Commission?
Yeah, happy to provide a good update. So we've had 7 applicants for the 2 open positions, and the recruitment is now closed. Interviews with the council subcommittee members, Vice Chair Christensen and Councilmember Peace, are scheduled for September 27th. Assuming that the applicants are selected for this recommendation, the full city council will consider the recommendations at the October 18th council meeting. And if all goes according to plan, the first Planning Commission meeting that the new members would attend would be that October 26th meeting. For reference, applicants range from interested but inexperienced citizens, Cal Poly professors with applicable academic background, private industry architects, and a career government planner. So that's the end of my update.
And as a question, when would we have elections for positions on the planning commission? Would we wait for the new members to come on board?
That is an option, especially with the next one, maybe two planning commissions getting canceled. But I do have it tentatively scheduled for October 26th.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, you
curious.
guys are more than welcome to make those recommendations. If you wanted to wait for the new members, just let me know and we can reschedule it.
Yeah, I don't have any strong feeling either way. I don't know if any of the commissioners do, but thank you very much. Thanks for that update. I really appreciate it. And with that, we're ready for adjournment. The next regular scheduled planning commission meeting is scheduled for October 12th, 2022 at 6 p.m. in these chambers at 990 Palm Street. The regular meeting of September 28th, 2022 is canceled. With that, I adjourn the meeting. Thank you.